Good day. Our project proposal is about the renovation of the Silliman University Civil Engineering Laboratory. This is the present Silliman University Civil Engineering Laboratory. It is divided into three partitions: the lecture room, the structural hydraulics and materials laboratory room, and the soil mechanics laboratory room.
One problem we have in the laboratory is the lack of space. This is the lecture room. This has a land area of 63 square meters and caters up to 35 students instead of the recommended 30. This is the structural, hydraulics, and materials laboratory room, which also has a land area of 63 square meters. This room should only house 30 students at once, but accommodates up to 35 students. This is the soil mechanics laboratory room. It has a land area of 29.4 square meters and caters up to 35 students, but ideally, it should only cater up to 20.
Another problem observed in the laboratory is the improper fire and escape system. This is the present fire exit door. It is heavily locked and thus is not functional. The position of the fire exit door also does not meet the standards of leading to an open area.
The laboratory also has no proper ventilation or exhaust system. The three rooms are fully air conditioned and have closed glass windows. Considering that the students are dealing with dusty materials in the laboratory like soil, sand, and gravel, the present ventilation system is not very conducive.
One more evident problem in the laboratory is the improper storage of equipment and materials. The laboratory materials are placed on top of the laboratory tables and just anywhere around the laboratory instead of placing them inside compartments. The laboratory tables are also old and wooden, making it inconvenient for students to work on them.
Having identified these problems, the proponents of this project came up with a renovation design to address such and to improve the learning through laboratory work of the civil engineering students of Silliman University. This project aims to meet the following objectives: to create larger space inside the laboratory, to design a strategic location for the fire exit, to design a proper exhaust or ventilation system, to organize the furniture inside the laboratory, to develop compartments where the materials and equipment are arranged accordingly, to design a counter for the borrowing of materials and equipment, to design a washing area for sanitation and safety, to design a security system that will ensure the safety of the students' belongings, to design laboratory tables that may also be used as lecture tables, to design a mobile casework for storage, use of equipment, data gathering, and discussion.
Expansion of the laboratory. First, the old stockroom will be demolished. Second, the partition separating the lecture room and structural hydraulics and materials laboratory will be removed. Third, the original wall on the right side when facing the blackboard will be demolished and the room is expanded up to 2 meters. Lastly, a counter for borrowing materials will be designed and placed in the old lecture room with 2.5 meters by 2.5 meters dimensions.
Fire and emergency escape system. First, two fire doors will be installed in the soil mechanics laboratory and structural, hydraulics, and materials laboratory with no more than 6 millimeters trim from any edge. Only 3 millimeters of clearance evident between fire door and the frame of the head and the stiles, and no more than 10 mm and no less than 3 mm of clearance between the fire door and the floor. Second, it will be made sure that the fire doors are being installed in firewalls and that all doors, door frames, and hardware are on par with the tested and approved prototype for that door and its accessories. Third, the carrying handle of a portable fire extinguisher with a total gross mass of 4 kilograms and above will approximately be 1 meter from the floor. The carrying handle of a portable fire extinguisher with a total gross of Mass of less than 4 kilograms will be sited at 1.5 meters from the floor. Fourth, smoke alarms will be installed on the ceiling at least 300 mm from the nearest wall. Fifth, holes will be drilled into the ceiling. Lastly, the alarm will be mounted.
Ventilation and exhaust system. Four exhaust fans will be installed, two in the soil mechanics laboratory and the other two in structural, hydraulics, and materials laboratory. Starting with the taping of cardboard template in position on the ceiling and marking out the cutting circle. Third, the hole for the exhaust fan will be marked. Fourth, the hole for the exhaust fan will be cut out. Fifth, the exhaust fan will be installed in the wall. And lastly, the cover plate will then be pushed into place.
Compartments and laboratory tables. One compartment in the structural hydraulics and materials laboratory and another one in the soil mechanics laboratory will be installed with dimensions 1 meter by 8 meter by 2 meter and 2.5 meter by 6 meter by 2 meter respectively. Second, two center laboratory tables in the structural, hydraulics, and materials laboratory and one in the soil mechanics laboratory will also be built that measure 1 meter by 4 meter each, equipped with one sink per table.
Mobile casework. First, a shelving frame will be built 1 meter wide and 2 meters high with leveling casters. Second, an adjustable height mobile table will be designed with a width of 1 meter and a height of up to 1 meter. Third, the table will be attached to the frame using removable screws. Fourth, a mobile base cabinet 75 centimeters high and 90 centimeters wide will be constructed. Fifth, the cabinet will be placed on the platform of the shelving frame and will be attached to the frame using removable door hinges. Sixth, the three main components of the mobile casework will be assembled together with the ability to add or subtract any component easily. This is the estimated cost of the project. It totals to 369,105 pesos. This is the proposed timetable. For weeks 1 to 2 are the submission and approval of design and budget proposal. For weeks 3 to 5 are the expansion of laboratory, installation of laboratory tables. For weeks 6 to 7 are the installation of fire and emergency escape system, ventilation system, compartments, and mobile casework. It is concluded that the project proposed in this study is feasible and realistic, given the correct materials, using the right procedure, and done by the appropriate persons for the job. The budget to be used should also be enough as estimated. Following the design made in this project proposal, which was based from theories and suggestions from experts in this field, the renovation of the Silliman University Civil Engineering Laboratory would be of huge help to the Civil Engineering Department as a whole.